about chemistry.
Chemistry. Chemistry lesson is about to begin.
Yeah, so I'm a chemist, and Jilly, obviously, as you all know, is a chef. We both come at natural ingredients from a different perspective, but interestingly, we both end up with the same conclusions. So we are both looking today at that lovely seasonal fruit, the pumpkin.
Which we've got a lot
so
of
lots of pumpkins here. Now my pumpkin here in this lovely bowl is all minced up. And what I'm going to talk about is how we use seasonal ingredients in cosmetics. So I was a chemist originally, but now I've applied that in the design and manufacture of cosmetics. And we make loads of cosmetics here in Malton, in 2 workshops dotted around the town. And we sell a lot of what we make in the shop over there, the Cosy Cottage shop over there. We also offer lots of beauty treatments using natural cosmetics. So what I'm going to make today is very much founded on the principle of seasonal stuff being good for us. So a lot of us know that seasonal stuff, you know, using biodynamic principles, moving with the seasons, really does us good with our food, but it also does us good with our skincare. So if we think about our skin coming out of the summer, we've had a lot of sun, we're going into the cold, a lot of people have dry skin, maybe chapped skin, and in the same way as you would use things like pumpkins for seasonal nutrition, we would use seasonal things for skincare as well. So we have a lovely pumpkin here, and you're going to ask me, what on earth is she going to do with that? How can I possibly use a pumpkin for skincare? Well, what we do is we would make out of this a seasonal fresh face mask. The reasons why pumpkin is good for a face mask is it's very, very rich in vitamin A. So vitamin A applied to the skin is very good for fine lines, for dryness. It can also reduce the appearance of scars, including acne scars. So a really good skin standby because of the vitamin A. It's also got salicylic acid in it. Does anyone know what salicylic acid is, what the common name is?
Please, somebody knows.
Please shout out.
Me.
I can see that gentleman there's itching to answer this. So aspirin. So salicylic acid would be found in aspirin, and it would normally be derived. That lady knew that, and you and just didn't say it. It would normally be derived from the salix. Does anyone know what the salix is? The salix plant would be a willow, and it's the same thing. So salicylic acid present in pumpkin, and that is really good as an anti-inflammatory and also counters microbial growth, so all good for acne and those sorts of things. And the other thing, obviously, in pumpkin, there's this orange colour, and the orange colour is beta-carotene, so it's exactly the same as you'd see in carrots. And interestingly, beta-carotene is really good for hyperpigmentation, and it's also very good for absorbing a part of the photospectrum, and so giving you a measure of sun protection. You'd have to leave the pumpkin on your skin though, and you might not want to be wandering around with that, so perhaps not quite such a practical application. So for this particular face mask, we use mashed up pumpkin. You know, that's all quite smooth. A bit similar to what Jilly will be using in her soup, actually.
Yes, mine's not quite as smooth yet because I've got my magic wand, but we're getting there. And I'm going to make the soup, not only because of the nutritional benefits, but psychologically, mental health-wise, there's something about a bowl of soup.
Yeah.
So when you've got your face looking amazing, that gets you about part way through to being fantastic. But then you just need a bowl of soup to make it, to finish it off. So I'm hoping that this is going to work because this is a new cooker and I'm testing it for the first time. But we're softening an onion. We're going to put in our pumpkin, which has actually been cooked in the oven, so it's nice and soft but not as smooth as that. And I'm making a bit of stock because we hate waste at the cook's place. So the stock is being made with all the bits of skin and bits of onion, and the sweetener in the soup is a bit of apple, because apple's good for you as well. Cooked down in the rapeseed oil, which is local, seasoned with the salt, which is local, so we're keeping it modern.
Fantastic.
So I'll potter on with that while you tell them about
So it's local and it's seasonal, and the mental health benefits very important sort
It's
of.
like what do they say? A hug in a mug.
Yeah, hug in a mug. So the second ingredient then that we use in the face mask is raw honey. So this is lovely raw local Yorkshire honey. Now we tip that in. Now honey, absolutely fantastic, natural antibacterial agent. So another benefit for the skin, its antibacterial properties. We don't want too much because we don't want this sticking so that you can't remove it after you wipe it off. It will tend to also reduce swelling. So it's quite a nice thing in a face mask. It will reduce swelling, and it has been cited as good for rosacea. So rosacea is something that many of the ladies who come to us for their skincare and their natural cosmetics, they want something to help with rosacea, and honey is a very good natural remedy to help with rosacea. So beautiful, natural, local honey. I think I'm going to put a bit more. Okay. And how are you getting on?
Getting on, but absolutely fine. I was just thinking the honey would go well in the soup as well. You know, you can add that in.
You can have a bit.
Well, I've got my apple in there now, but if you wanted a natural sweetener, just use the honey.
Lovely. Right.
So far you could
make
make your soup out of that.
You could. It's all going to go wrong in a minute. So this is cinnamon. So cinnamon, often thought about as a foodstuff, but we have to work to very strict guidelines when we make skincare products. Everything has to be very rigorously safety tested and signed off before we're able to distribute it or allow people to use it. Cinnamon, interestingly, people often think, well, cinnamon, you know, there's no problem with that. That's in cakes. There's no issue with that. We have to be very careful. There are very strict limits in skincare products as to how much cinnamon you can use. So we are going to put some cinnamon into this, but we're not going to put loads because it is interesting. Just because something is okay to eat doesn't necessarily mean it's okay on your skin. And that's sometimes a bit counterintuitive. This is a very, very powerful antioxidant, and so it's helpful for skin as we come out of the summer into the winter, when we've got oxidative stress, stress from pollution. So stress is not just the stress that we feel emotionally and mentally. Stress is also from the environment, the temperature, the change in the season. So cinnamon, using it in a skincare product, but just to remind you, very, very careful about the concentrations of things that we use. So this is obviously a fresh preparation. It isn't a preparation that would be safety assessed and safe to put into jars and put on our shelves in the shop or sell through the internet. It would be something we would need to mix up to do a treatment in our treatment room or in our store, and then dispose of at the end of the day. So again, there's a lot of making sure that things don't go off that we need to be careful about with skincare. It's very similar, actually.
Yes, absolutely. And we work closely with your lovely friend Sarah,
Yeah.
who comes and does something at the Cook's Place called Eat Yourself Beautiful. And this is the whole thing that we do. But get a pumpkin, use some of it for that, use some of it for this, because it's not going to keep forever.
Yeah.
So use it up. And you know, if you're buying a pumpkin, don't just think, oh, I only needed a spoonful for that. What's happening to the rest? I'll compost it. No, make a big batch of soup and freeze it. I don't know if you can freeze the face mask, but
You probably could freeze the face mask. Yes. Yeah. And then thaw it out.
Interesting that you said being careful about what's in there when it's all natural.
Yes.
When you think of some of the terrible things that are in cosmetics that aren't made by Cosy Cottage, made by other companies that we won't mention, you just wonder why people don't think, I'm worried about cinnamon, yet there's all these chemicals in what I am using.
Absolutely.
So
And
it's all about reading the label.
it is. It's all about reading the label, and it's all about thinking about what is in your skincare products, and thinking about what you want to choose and why you might want to choose safe, natural skincare products. We could talk for hours about that. We probably haven't got hours, but if you want to pop in, most of our team have been briefed to within an inch of their lives on all of this, so they're very good.
Most of them are there. There's not many people in the shop.
There, actually. Okay, so at this point, it would actually taste okay. However, that's all going to go wrong because I'm now going to add something called sodium bentonite. So,
Not sure I want that in my soup.
you don't want that in your soup. So sodium bentonite is clay. So it's natural, it's a natural mineral, it is clay. And the reason why it is good in skincare preparations is it has some really unique properties. So it can absorb far greater than its own mass in terms of things like viruses, bacteria and fungi. So it will have the effect in a face mask of drawing impurities out of the skin. So it is great in a preparation like this because we're going to mix it up in the morning. We use it throughout the day and in the beauty treatments that are ongoing today in the store, and then we throw it away at the end of the day. But if we were going to make this into something that was, for general sale, we would need to take some precautions, and we would need to use some naturally derived preservatives to help with the shelf life of that, because the sodium bentonite will already be soaking in bacteria from the environment that it's now in. But great, you will have heard of clay masks, pink clay masks, and that sort of thing, and you know that they are really good for cleansing skin and making skin fresh and beautiful. So here we go, there we are, that's all mixed together. So that is our beautiful, fresh, natural face mask. And as I say, we have a treatment room and we offer treatments in our store, the Cosy Cottage store. We're going to be offering particular fresh facials throughout the seasons using things that are in season. So today it's pumpkins, other days it will be things like rose hips, very rich in vitamin C, and other seasonal items. And then of course there's our standard range of natural skincare and beauty products. So if anybody would like a little bit of this to take home with them, you will need to use it within the next 24 hours or so. When you get home, it isn't all that hot today. When you get home, it might be an idea to pop it in the fridge. But if anyone would like some of this in a little tin to take home as a face mask, you're very welcome. And over to the soup.
Fantastic, it's great, isn't it? I'm going to just pop some on my hand in a moment.
Fantastic.
See what it tastes like. All I'm going to see what it tastes like, see what it feels like. I'm just going to make a big noise here and put some of this through the blender, but it didn't take very long. We haven't used anything. We used the stock made out of the peel. We've used seasonings. I put a little bit of curry powder in. Didn't bring cinnamon, could have used cinnamon, but I just wanted a little bit of heat in there. And I'm going to blend that up like that. So it's going to make a big noise, and it has to go down here because the lead's not long enough. So we have to do this. Never do this at home, never blend anything against your leg, it's not a good idea. I taught some children this week, 25 children from a local school came, and the 2 minutes before they arrived, I'd made carrot soup for them to taste, and the blender, the lid shot off and it all went up the window. So they came in, it looked like Halloween in the cookery school because the window was bright orange. But they thought it was quite amusing that their lunch was up the window. Right, we'll just blend that one more time. And prove that we can make a soup and a face mask in about 10 minutes on stage.
Julia, I have a question about cooking pumpkin.
Yes, Sylvie.
Is there a particular part of the pumpkin you have to cook, or can you cook it all? Or do you have to get rid of the seeds? And
The seeds you can take out and dry and then use as pumpkin seeds. The skin is not very palatable, but it's a good idea just to cook it in its skin and then scoop it out, because peeling it is a real challenge. So what I did with this one is we cut it in half, put it in the oven, roasted it, and then scooped it out of the skin. But that's I just take that and put it down there. There we go. It's like Saptic Kitchen, it's messy underneath. There we go. We're going to do that, and we're going to do this. Our soup is there. Oh, that looks lovely. And our face mask is there.
And
all
nothing
natural.
is wasted.
And nothing is wasted. Clara, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Running back to the shop and giving lots of treatments today, and everybody in the no excuse, it's just there, okay? But thank you very much for taking part in our first collaboration on stage with Cosy Cottage. Next time, thank you very much.